Now this is our final topic in coordinate geometry, and we'll be doing a little bit more practice with this after the midterm break as well, but I do want to introduce it to you today just for you to see it for the first time. So what we're going to be doing is finding equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. And in these types of questions, they always give you the equation of one line, and then they ask you to find the equation of a second line that's either parallel or perpendicular to the first one. And that goes through a certain point. Why do they have to tell us a point? Well, if I have a line, how many lines are parallel to that? I can actually draw an infinite number, if I draw them right, an infinite number of parallel lines. Or if I have a line, how many lines are perpendicular to it? And if I draw it right, I can draw an infinite number of perpendicular lines to a given line. So I need to know a point as well to narrow it down to one specific line. Okay, the other thing is when we're ever asked for the equation of a line, so if you see equation of a line in a question, you're asked to find the equation of a line, what are they actually asking you to do? They're asking you to use the formula y minus y1 equals m by x minus x1. So you're going to use that formula, but that formula needs two things. It needs a slope and it needs a point. So the question must have given me a point, which it has, or given me a way to find a point, and the question must have given me the slope or a way to find the slope. And how have they given me a way to find the slope? By telling me that my new line is parallel to the first one. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the slope. Find the slope of my new line of k. K has the same slope as L because they are parallel. Because k is parallel to L. They told us that in the question. So what's the slope of L? Well, the slope of L, you wouldn't have to write down every step like this, but this is just for our notes. The x coefficient divided by the y coefficient, and change the sign, minus 2/3. So therefore, my slope for my formula, m is equal to minus 2/3. And the second thing I do is I use the point. Okay, so the point that I'm given is 4 minus 3, and that point is x1, y1, and the formula y minus y1 equals m by x minus x1. So I'm filling into this formula. Y minus a minus 3, y plus 3 equals m minus 2 over 3, x minus x1, x minus 4. So from here, it's just like the kinds of questions that we've done before. So we're going to multiply by my common denominator to get rid of the fraction. I'm going to multiply by 3, or the shortcut that we learned is that we multiply the y side by the bottom number and the x side by the top number. So this is a handy shortcut and it stops us making mistakes, but if you prefer to think of it, you're multiplying both sides by 3 to get rid of the fraction. That's what you're actually doing. And then we multiply out our brackets. 3y plus 9 is equal to minus 2x minus minus is plus 8. Bring everything to one side. 2x plus 3y plus 9 minus 8 is equal to 0. And so my line k, which I was looking for, is 2x plus 3y plus 1 equal to 0. Notice something about this line, not appearing on the screen at the same time, and this line. They have the same x terms and the same y terms. The only thing that's different about them is their constants. And that makes sense because the x and the y coefficients are what determine the slope. And for parallel lines, the slopes must be the same. I'm going to do one quick example with a perpendicular line. And I'm not going to ask you to practice with this today, just to take notes on it. And we'll do some practice with this when we come back from midterm. So example 2. Find the equation of the line P perpendicular to Q, where Q is the line 5x minus y plus 8 equal to 0, if P passes through the point minus 1, 3. Okay, so again, the same steps as we had before. So first of all, I'll write down the slope of my given line. So the slope of Q is going to be my x coefficient, 5, over my y coefficient, minus 1, and change the sign. So the slope of Q is 5. Then I can write down the slope of P, which will be minus a fifth, because P is perpendicular to Q. So I turn it upside down and change the sign. And then I use my point, minus 1, 3, as x1, y1, in the formula y minus y1 equals m by x minus x1. It seems like a lot of work, but it's very doable. You do have this extra step to find the slope, and after that, you're just doing the equation of the line. Y minus y1, y minus 3 is equal to m minus a fifth by x minus x1. Minus a minus 1 is plus 1. Then multiply across by 5 to get rid of the fraction, or shortcut, multiply the y side by the denominator and the x side by the numerator. So 5 bracket y minus 3 is minus 1 bracket x plus 1. Multiply everything out. 5y minus 15 is minus x minus 1, and bring everything to one side. The x comes over and becomes positive, and the 1 comes over and also becomes positive. Tidy it up. My line P is x plus 5y minus 14 equal to 0. And there's my line. There's the equation of the line. Okay, what do we notice here? These guys don't have the same x and y coefficients, but they've swapped places. The 5 and the 1 have swapped places, and the sign has changed. So again, it's the opposite. The x and the y combination is opposite. Notice only one sign changes, because otherwise it will cancel each other out. Okay, so we're going to stop there for today, and we'll come back to this over the midterm to practice a little bit with it. Have a good rest, have a good break, and hopefully we'll come back refreshed, and I'll see you all online after midterm break. Okay, well done everyone.